Welcome back to Clean Tech Talk. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something that sounds simple but is actually surprisingly complex. We're talking about the logistics of buying dry ice for industrial blasting machines here in the US. This is really about the shortcut to efficiency and where a lot of people, well, they get it wrong.
They really do. And, the best operators understand this. Dry ice isn't just a supply, it's a strategic part of the process. If you don't nail the quality, the size, and especially the freshness, you're looking at equipment damage and, frankly, a blown budget.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, the hard technical specs. For most blasters, and we can use something like the Aiolith AI30 as a benchmark, what's the one thing you just can't compromise on?
It's the pellet size. It has to be 3 millimeters. That's 18 of an inch or even smaller. That is the non-negotiable standard.
And why is that so critical? What happens if you use something bigger?
You'll get clogs almost immediately. We're talking about potential block damage to your machine, which is a costly repair. On the other hand, if it's too powdery, you lose all the kinetic impact. The cleaning power just isn't there.
Got it. So blocks are completely out of the question.
Absolutely. They will damage the equipment.
And just to put some numbers on this, the Aiolith AI30 consumes somewhere between, 0.66 and 1.32 pounds a minute?
That's right. So for 1 hour of blasting, you need about 40 to 80 pounds of dry ice.
That's a serious amount of material. Every pound counts.
Precisely. Which brings us to the next big problem. The race against time. Sublimation. This is where most people just bleed money without even realizing it.
Right. It's basically evaporating.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Even in a proper insulated container, you're losing about 5 to 10% of your volume per day.
Wow, 5 to 10% a day. So if you buy 1,000 pounds on a Monday...
By Tuesday night, you could have lost up to 100 pounds. And you haven't even switched the machine on yet.
So what's the protocol then? How do you maximize what you've bought?
Use it within 24 hours of delivery. That's the gold standard.
Yeah.
You should really try to avoid storing it for more than 2 or 3 days max. It's all about small, frequent batches, a just-in-time system.
Okay, and on storage, I have to ask, can you just throw it in an industrial freezer?
Absolutely not. That's a common and bad mistake. The extreme cold can actually damage the freezer unit itself, and it still won't slow down the sublimation enough to make a difference.
So what's the right way?
Only vented, insulated containers made specifically for dry ice. And I have to stress vented.
Why vented?
Because as it sublimates, it turns into co-uro gas. In an airtight container, that pressure builds up and it can create a serious explosion hazard.
Okay, so we know what to buy 3mm pellets and how to store them. Where do we actually get them in the U.S.?
You basically have 3 main channels. They're the big gas and welding supply companies like Airgas or Praxair.
Right.
Then you have large retailers like Costco, maybe Walmart, but their supply is often seasonal and the pellet size can be all over the place.
Inconsistent.
And finally, you have specialty dry ice suppliers.
And for the professionals who really need that consistent 3mm size, they're going to the specialists.
That's the key. Consistency protects your equipment and gives you the best performance. And honestly, it's where the real financial strategy comes in.
Let's talk about that. The cost. If you're just buying, say, 10 or 20 pounds from a retail spot, you're paying what, $2 or $3 a pound?
At least, sometimes more. But if you're running a real operation and can set up an industrial contract, say, for over 500 pounds a week,
Yeah.
that price just plummets. You're looking at a range of maybe 20 to 70 cents per pound.
That's a massive difference. So planning your logistics isn't just a hassle, it's
the core of your profitability.
So the takeaway here is that success in this field is really about meticulous logistics. It's not just the blasting machine itself.
It's all about pellet size, freshness, proper storage, and then leveraging that bulk pricing. If you miss one of those, the whole model falls apart.
Here's a thought for you to take away. If you have one of those great industrial contracts, say at 50 cents a pound, how much is that 5 to 10% daily sublimation loss really costing you? The actual cost per pound by the time you use it is often much higher than what's on the invoice.
That's the hidden cost. Ignoring logistics means you're basically paying a premium for waste.
And as a special thank you to our listeners, you can now enjoy 10% off your next purchase at Aiolith. Just use the promo code Aiolith2025 at checkout. That's AIOLITH 2025. Don't miss out.